Hi, I'm Vanessa and this is our nutritionist Kirsten, and today we are talking about a well-functioning immune system. It is vital for good health and it's part of your body's own defense system, keeping bugs and nasties at bay. And there's actually quite a bit that we can do through our diet to have good immunity. So Kirsten is going to talk to us more.
That's right, Vanessa. Our immune system is a complex network made up of organs and cells and chemicals that helps to protect our body from foreign invaders. So I'm talking about parasites, viruses, bacteria, and we really need to go to our diets to get those nutrients to help support our immune system as best we can.
Fantastic, and we've got quite a bit of food here today that we are going to talk about. So let's chat about some of the specific nutrients that we want to make sure we have.
Yeah, sure. So most people will be familiar with vitamin C. So when they come down with a cold, they start to feel unwell, they'll reach for vitamin C. And most people will go for an orange because that's what we know to be full of vitamin C. But in actual fact, there's plenty of fruits and vegetables in our diet that are high in vitamin C. So if we just look over here, we've got lots of different brightly coloured vegetables which are great sources of vitamin C. So we've got some pineapple, we've got cauliflower, we've got broccoli, kale, and some kiwi and some red capsicum. And interestingly, red capsicum has almost, in fact, just a little bit more than double the amount of vitamin C that oranges have. And the same goes for kiwi as well. So really good sources. When you're coming down with a cold, reach for the red capsicum or the kiwi fruits as well.
Fantastic. Okay, and any other vitamins that are important that we can make sure that we include?
Yes, absolutely. So beta-carotene, which is another antioxidant like vitamin C, it's quite rich in our brightly coloured reds and orange vegetables. So sweet potato, carrots and also leafy greens, and that will really help to lower inflammation in the body and boost immunity. So beta-carotene is another one.
I know we can get vitamin D from the sun, but it's obviously important to protect our skin as well. So what are some ways that we can get a good dose of vitamin D?
Yeah, that's right. So our best source of vitamin D is from the sun and we absorb it through our skin. But of course in Australia, particularly in summer, we do need to be very careful of our skincare and protecting our skin. And there's actually not that many great sources of vitamin D in food. So often we will have to turn to fortified cereals and dairy, but some good sources that I've got today is oily fish. So we're talking about salmon, mackerel, sardines. Eggs are a great source of vitamin D, and so mushrooms are too. So not that many food sources, but you certainly can get it through food.
And sometimes it's added into certain foods as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's fortified dairy and fortified cereals. You'll often find vitamin D.
Fantastic. And what else do we have here? I mean, there's some vitamins. What about some different minerals that can help with your immunity?
Yeah, sure. So I would say that the best sources, the best minerals that support our immune system would be zinc and iron. So over here we've got, zinc for instance, it boosts up our white blood cells, which are the defenders in the body against the invaders, so those pathogens. And zinc comes from pumpkin seeds. So we've got some pumpkin seeds over here, we've got hemp seeds. So you will get it from a lovely source of nuts and seeds, but particularly the pumpkin and the hemp. Lentils also are a great source of zinc. And then there's iron. So iron, obviously a lot of us will know that we get iron from red meats, meat and chicken as well. And oysters are also a great source of zinc and iron. But also, you may not know, but dried apricots are a good source of iron, but we do have to be careful with dried apricots because of the sugar content. But leafy greens and cacao also, so certainly a little bit of chocolate in there will give you that boost of iron. Some dark chocolate, yes.
Excellent. Okay, so we've spoken a little bit about iron, but I want to touch on it a fraction more because there are some foods that I know help to enhance your absorption. So tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. So vitamin C actually will help to absorb the iron. So if you're really low in iron, if your immunity is down because you are low in iron, that can happen, then you want to include those vitamin C rich foods when you're eating your iron. So that's going back to the broccoli, the cauliflower, the pineapples, capsicum, all of those foods will help to absorb the iron better. And the other thing to keep in mind, as you mentioned, is there are some things that will block the absorption. So tannins, which come from tea and coffee, can bind to the iron and then inhibit them from being absorbed by the body. So just be careful. If you're trying to boost your iron, stay away from, have the iron-rich foods away from drinking tea and coffee, for instance.
So wait a bit of time.
Not at the same meal time. That's right.
That's really helpful. Okay, well that covers vitamins and minerals. Let's chat about some of the other foods that we have on the table.
Sure. So just wanted to point out that there's a few herbs and spices, so turmeric, garlic, we've got some garlic over here, and ginger, which again will reduce that inflammation and boost immunity. But the other thing to keep in mind is our gut health. So our gut health is also really important when it comes to our immunity. Many of you may know that about 70% of our immune cells reside in our guts. It's super important to keep our gut as healthy as we can. But not only are the immune cells there, the intestinal lining is where the microbes reside. So we've known for a long time, right from birth, they play a really big role in our immunity. So what I'm talking about is prebiotic foods and fermented foods. So if we look at prebiotic foods first.
Yeah, so they're over here.
They're over here. So what I'm talking about is foods that are really rich in fibre, because it's that fibre that will feed those microbes. And to have a wide range of fibre from different foods, because the different fibres will feed different microbes, and that will really strengthen your immune system as much as possible.
Yeah.
So not only are fruits and vegetables rich in fibre, but things like chickpeas,
legumes,
some legumes, some black beans, nuts, cashews, almonds, garlic, things like
mixture there.
LSA. Sprinkle that on your smoothie, in your smoothies, and on your desserts or snacks. But also things like leeks, garlic, like we've said, Brussels sprouts are all really good prebiotic foods, which will really help to support those gut microbes.
Yeah, and then you have the fermented foods as well.
Yes, so the science is still limited, but we do believe that the fermented foods, so sauerkraut, yogurt, miso, kombucha, all of those aged and fermented foods that people love, the health benefits claim that they do have those live microbes. So as I said, the science is still limited, but anecdotally we are seeing that people get some good results.
And they're definitely healthy options to include in there.
Yes, absolutely.
So we've spoken about a lot of different foods here today, but let's chat about how we can actually do this. So what are some practical ways we can get these different foods into our everyday?
It's really easy to add these foods into your diet. Adding handfuls of leafy greens, so spinach and kale, into smoothies. Grabbing some garlic, some turmeric, grating it into some natural yogurt and making a dressing for your salads. You could also roast some garlic with a tray of, I like to get roasted, chopped up vegetables, crushed garlic, another great way. Adding ginger to juices. There's many, many ways that you can just incorporate all of these great foods to boost your immunity.
Yeah, and even just put some in your salads, some of those seeds and nuts, or even just some legumes as well. And
absolutely.
You can put some of the nuts in your smoothie too.
That's right. Yeah, smoothies are a great way.
All right, well, we've covered some fantastic food ideas on how to boost our immunity. It's never been so important, and now you know how.